Greetings, my audience. Hello. I know because Jake Allen Graham is my name. And I will be reviewing my full-on response on this movie called from 2008 flick of the DC flick Dark Knight movie sequel to Batman Begins, blah blah blah. The in-between chapter. Those are the one is the shit. I forgot to have the camera on me. I should have a seat. This might take a while. Where was I? Dark Knight I'm reviewing. Knows everyone their favorite in the Solomon Batman movie is the best family or the most exciting Batman movie. But to me, I think it's the most safest marketed overall Batman movie in the history of Batman movies next to the one with George Clooney flick. Or NOS. Batman movies, that one, or one of those two. I think this is the most safest Batman movie played, next to the George Clooney Batman and Robin movie. Batman and Robin, the 1997 that movie came out in, the 90s, late 90s when it came out. So this came out in 2008, a few decades after Batman and Robin was over. Entering the sequel, Batman reboot of known franchise with begins, and that was kind of okay of a story by a mediocre directing because it didn't make out enough for geography of fight scenes that Batman was throwing in the movie when he was fighting, supposed to make him look cool. But I honestly think that this was poorly directed. Everything was the action because it felt like it was directed by a mediocre filmmaker meant for a TV movie. It felt more like how it was edited and directed together, put together by personally, I wouldn't know because he did a good bad movie directing. He did an okay job. Fantastic what he was given, what he made. He did one hell of a job directing. Was this movie called Memento from the '90s, late '90s? It came out in, I think. Yeah, '90s. It's kind of blurred in my head. Because I was born in the 90s, 1987. So everything was the 90s since was born in the 90s, late 90s era. It's kind of the late 90s are kind of a blur to me. That's why I feel like because I was young then. Whatever age I could have been in the 90s. I found this. What was I talking about Batman and Robin in compared to the one where he's like Joker, Dark Knight? I give a 6 out of 10 because it's very unimaginative and safe story and marketable, taking it seriously and straight, but not going full force with maturing this violence or sexual content or it doesn't contain. Even with these PG-13, so the movie doesn't. What I'm trying to say is, it's not that it plays it safe in the PG-13 limits that you can deal with violence. It's kind of like the movie Tom Hardy's Venom when he played Venom, and it played safe with the violence when it came to Tom Hardy's Venom biting people's heads off. It played safe with the violence, but honestly, I think it was smarter. Push more of a limit with the violence having more of an edge because in a PG-13 movie you never see any decapitation really ever. I don't think so. So at least now these days, as time goes on, PG-13 has become the only rating system marketed to the public, which makes you wonder if this is going to go. If PG-13 is generally the only thing that's marketed to the public now, with the exception of PG movies still being around, but less now than these days versus before, G movies and N-17 movies have pretty much gone extinct. Nobody makes them anymore. Not really a whole lot of people, a small handful of people, if they're in the horror genre making business, they'll make R-rated movies still. Usually if it's a horror movie, it gets an R-rated shot. But nothing outside of the genre for R-rated, you're seeing for new movies now these days, like action, thrillers, whatever. The only thing I guess allowed to be R-rated is the horror genre. That's why I like horror so much, because it's allowed to be horror, still R-rated. There's a charm to it. It, I don't know why. It just tells me that R-rated movies and PG and G movies that were meant for all ages kids, young kids, and their adult parents are going away extinct. Probably because I hear, well, not me feel, I just feel like, well, let's feel now these days we're taking the parent privilege route. Taking responsibility for raising a young one. Well, because I can't say I blame them, because it is more expensive to take care of someone than it is for yourself, technically speaking, in addition to taking care of yourself. So, what I'm trying to say is there's a good chance technically PG-13 might go extinct, and R-rated might stick around for a while. Maybe, I don't know, but I doubt it. That's like a loose possibility. I think PG-13 is going to become the only manufacturer for movie content going forward, because nobody really makes them anything outside the PG norm. And people literally hate R-rated movies now because they're so violent. Remember, one of the most common complaints with the new Hellboy reboot is that it was too violent because it's rated R? That was a problem why it bombed at the box office. Wow. Not because it was bad, not because the guy playing Hellboy was bad, not because the story was shit, not because Hellboy was shit, because he wasn't. I thought he was pretty cool in the movie. I liked him still. Not as much as Ron Perlman, but, what can you say when Ron Perlman has four outings, counting the two animated times he's played Hellboy, and two animated films, and two live-action Hellboy movies released to theaters, when people still go to the theaters. I mean, I can't say he's not as good as Ron Perlman, but that's because Ron Perlman just has more experience than this guy. This guy is like his first outing as Hellboy. His only movie outing. I wish, the guy... I don't think he's as good as Ron Perlman as an actor, even. Ron Perlman's that much of a talented actor than this guy, for what I've seen him in. I've seen him in this movie called... this movie and the Thunderbolts movie, where he played that guy in red guy. That's the only two movies I've seen that guy in, okay? I haven't seen a whole lot of his work. I'm missing out on. Lacking to my knowledge. Is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So, that's why I think our movie genre going forward was going PG-13 is going to be the only movie singing visually, so probably move something of the past for movie genres and shows, I'm not saying I'm hyped for it, I can't say. Because I'm not. I'm scared for it. Where it's going. Becoming a thing of the past. Quietly. Due to the amount of so much crap. It's just sad to me. These movies do become a thing of the past. So it is what it is. What it is. As Crosby, Still and Nash said, if you can't love the one you want to be with, love the one you're with. When the seagull can fly with the dove, time to settle down, love the one you less than shooting for more. That song now has more weight when I listen to how movies are dying. And cinema is going to die, and I'm going to be really bummed out when that happens because, I want to quality, but there's so much shit now these days that are coming out with new stuff. It's there's no quality control anymore if you want to just make a buck or anything, or don't want to put any effort into the shit. I mean, yeah, they want to make a living, but could they at least try to like put everyone to half of this shit instead of the reverse, making it worse than possible? It's something. I realized I'm going to have to title this video on something else instead of just a review, because I'm ranting on the future of movies going forward for cinema. And then I'm going to have to title something else. I had added it into the just Bateman review. So I give The Dark Knight 2008 a 6 out of 10. I thought it was mediocre like Spider-Man. 2002 movie. And 2004 flick with the Maguire eras. Or everything that Tom Holland's played as Spider-Man, and it was his trilogy. I thought it was mediocre letdown, The Dark Knight movie. I mean, I'm sorry, this shit fried my brain. It's probably why I've been like ranting on more about movies going cinema going forward than enjoying talking about and praising Dark Knight movie. I'm trying to fix my glasses. My glasses, I'm sorry, I can't really see with these glasses. Shit. So I can't see what's out them anymore now. That's 100% clear. So I'm going to close my eyes now. Oh, hang on, I'm trying to put my glasses on my shirt. Thank you for being patient for me. So, I'm just going to review the rest of the movie today. We're going to be talking about The Dark Knight 2, why it fried my brain, and why I can't praise this movie. I'm playing everything else other than the Batman we're supposed to be talking about. And the sense that necessarily explains it to you. That's why I give Dark Knight a 6 out of 10. This cinema movie is... it's alright. Okay, I guess. But I hate a lot of it because this is not an adrenaline rush. It takes forever to get going. There's like, where's the adrenaline rush? There's all the stupidity in the thrown into the movie. With everything. Like, it takes it so fucking seriously. It's one of those sense of humor, really. It has a little bit of something. It was like a hockey pants joke about hockey. I think that was supposed to be a joke. I don't know. Is this that Batman's battle was so silly wrapped around this time in the installment? The worst in his past? I just think everything says, the first thing he says, I assume it's supposed to be the joke. Of a punchline joke that just went over my head. I'm not wearing hockey pants? But was that supposed to be a catchphrase sound badass? I don't know anymore, really. It's just all the stupid. Following stupidity, careless characters with really cool spectacle action thrown around this time. Batman Begins has shitty spectacle action, but halfway decent plot. Half-baked decent plot. But it was felt like a TV movie first time and now still, even looking back on the last two ones. So that's why the Batman Begins a 6 out of 10 and Dark Knight a 6 out of 10. This movie's what unimaginative stupid. I mean, I'm just scratching my head. How do we let this so much movies of the first two Batman movies get popular? Because it's so unimaginative, so stupid storytelling thrown into the movie. Which just feels like nonsense, really on nonsense walls. Just shit. Story shit. Spectacle, at least cool. In the Dark Knight round outing, not say about that all spectacle is good and the Batman Begins movie, but the story is better. Spectacle is more of an action movie with Dark Knight Rises. I think Batman Begins might be worse than Dark Knight. Even though it's a better Batman story, it's just a shitty story spectacle based on a spectacle standards. Because the action is directed terrible. Yeah, and edited is terrible in that movie. But I would not give this movie a award for best director. Let's put that way. At least for Batman Begins. So, honestly, I like the Supergirl 70s movie more than Batman Begins. Or The Dark Knight. Basement story, structure, spectacle, whatever. Both. You know? And the movie Ben Stiller's Mystery Man I like more than Batman and Dark Knight Batman Begins, and Dark Knight. Sorry, those movies were better than Nolan first two Batmans with Batman and starring Christian Bale being the worst. Batman is Chris O'Donnell and George Clooney Batman run that have one hour. I just think he sucked. I thought these movies were lame. Kind of a lot of it just dragged on. The pacing was balls to the wall slow more than the Hunger Games movies. Even the worst than the last two ones, Mockingjay 1 and 2. That's worse than Harry Potter. Definitely Hallows Part 2. Or Part 1. Or any of the ones after the Half-Blood Prince being the last decent flick by Harry Potter. I'm sorry, but am I the only one to think that Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was the last decent Harry Potter movie after, and then following forward it was started to lose narrative and drag on? Dark Knight, Batman Begins lamer than those Harry Potter movies after the Half-Blood Prince wrapped up. This was stupid. The first two Batman Christian Bale movies was beyond my belief of comprehending reality anymore. Is this? Wax me and her stupid. Makes me want to. And I can understand this less than I can understand the plot to Lady in the Water. The plot to the Batman movie of 2008. But I'm not saying I like the Lady in the Water more. I do not like Lady in the Water more than the Dark Knight. But you know, on narrative level, not on spectacle, but narrative level makes more sense than the Dark Knight. Okay? Oh, I have nightmares. Like when I said something. When I had a nightmare like when I said something like this on camera during our video review. I didn't know it was a permission coming true for this video, and I have a headache. I don't feel like I want to throw up that I actually said that. But it's not based in non-good faith, it's based in fact of what I've seen of this movie, The Dark Knight. Being the worst fucking Batman movie of all time. The animated kids, whatever I've seen. This is stupid. Stupid beyond stupid. I want to throw a chair at someone's head and smash it with a chair because I'm so pissed of how stupid I wasted my life on. This two Batman movies blew ass. A load of ass like diarrhea out of my colon, asshole, into the toilet before I flush it down. It's more satisfying in terms of spectacle and storytelling, both, than Dark Knight or Batman Begins is better than. Me shitting on the toilet is more satisfying with my life spendings than. So invest your money into a proper toilet or into the one that, if you can afford it, cleans your asshole with water, splashes your asshole with water. It's not called a toilet, it's called a toilet something. Bidet. If you're going to invest into a bidet, if you can afford it, I understand if you can't afford the money, because not many people can afford it. Like my dad affords a bidet for me. That's what I use normally here. So if you can just afford a standard toilet, but make sure it's a good quality standard toilet, it's meant to last real well, which is plumbing. So invest into something worth your life savings. A good proper toilet working that's brand fucking new, then spending your hard-earned monies on Batman Begins or the Dark Knight movie. Good night. Subscribe to my channel. I think we can all agree on that statement of fact. It's why Batman Begins and Dark Knight gets a 6 out of 10 mediocre hot garbage. Flush it down the drain if you want to. Or keep it. I don't care. Make sure you invest in our toilet first before investing into the Dark Knight either movies of the Dark Knight Run trilogy. I'm saving the third one for a separate video because I have too much broken sweat from this video. I need to get water and a drink of water, big ice water. Which is what I'll do after this video, is stop recording. So, that's my thoughts on Dark Knight. My mouth is dry. So I'm sorry you're not hearing me better. I just don't have water right now in front of me to drink. But I'll get some when I'm off this video. So good night, subscribe, like this video, my audience, goodbye. See ya! Till next video, I can't really see the video, so logo buttons, I am sure what's on my glasses even, okay? I went on new prescriptions come in the mail, but you know, unfortunately, lots of glasses are made from China, prescription glasses, and I hear our president kind of piss people off in China. Trump, I think is the president now? I forget. I forget who sometimes. Because there's so many presidents in the past. A lot of white guys in the president's past. I don't know what that's about. Don't know, I just think we might be a little prejudiced, but who can say for a fact in this country? I don't know, I'm not the president. I just think everyone in the country and everyone in the world is pretty much stupider than me. Because look at all the movies we made. Mr. Marvel and DC going forward, it was the new Superman movie, but it sucks. And I've given up hope and faith, good faith, of cinema just in general. My God, how high is my blood pressure now? I feel like I'm sweating, breaking a sweat from so much stuff. Thinking about of movies I hate. Oh, like these two movies, Batman and Dark Knight, I hate them. It's official. Hey, spread the word for me. Man, goodbye. See ya. Bye. Looking for the off button, wherever it could be. I'm trying to see which one's pause and which one's off. I see the one right or left. Both next to each other. So I'm trying to see and hope that's off.